So, a little something for dealership technicians to think about. And I don't know how it'll affect the independent shops at all, but just dealership technicians in general. With us having to go through all the crazy stuff that we're going through with not being able to get parts, all the stuff at the corporate level, things like shorting us hours for recalls and TSBs, and just everything seems to be 0.3 and 0.4 for everything. And you're going to see a lot more dealerships creating what's called maintenance type departments. Some dealerships already have them, and it's like a big FU to the senior techs that are in the shop. I know of several people right now that have left their jobs and their positions because dealerships have come in and they've created these maintenance type departments, and it's cut the money out of the senior techs. So they'll use like a decent lube tech or a semi-skilled technician and let them clock all the hours and stuff on the brake jobs and the flushes and any of the easier type stuff, which cuts it out of the pockets of the senior techs or the master techs, senior master techs, so they don't have any field work anymore. The dealership maximizes their profit off of it. They're using a semi-skilled technician instead of actually funneling the work out amongst all the technicians to kind of help keep hours up whenever you get those stubborn jobs that are going to take a long time, or those diag jobs where you're losing your ass on it. There's always some kind of small filler work there. It's just not really there anymore, right? So when they start creating these maintenance departments and they're letting lube techs and semi-skilled techs do the maintenance work, where do you think all that money's going? It's not going in your pocket. It's not really so much going into the semi-skill or the lube tech's pocket either. The dealership is maximizing their profit off of that, and it's cutting you out of that filler work and that work that used to be there, so you can make sure that you're taken care of hours wise at the end of the day, at the end of the week. And the more this happens, the more they try to save a buck because of car sales being down, because of whatever it is with not getting parts, technicians leaving the dealerships, technicians wanting more money for the work that they do, whatever it may be. They're going to try to find ways to cut corners. They're going to try to find ways to save money. They're going to put unrealistic expectations on you and say, well, how come we're not getting 35 plus hours a week when it's slow? Yet that maintenance department is flourishing, taking care of all the smaller maintenance stuff, where that used to be your filler work and you used to make good money on it. It's becoming more and more of a thing now, and a lot of technicians in the field are not very happy with it. Some of the private meetings that we have off of here on Zoom calls and stuff like that, in private groups where these things are going on at different dealerships because they're trying to cut corners, they're trying to circumvent the system and reinvent things to allow the company to have more money and not put as much money out to the senior techs. Be careful of that. Be careful of that where it's where this type of stuff is going on. And also, you know, a lot of them are scared that they're not making enough money, so they'll try to have you come in on weekends where you never came in on weekends before. They'll have you start coming in on Saturdays or something to that extent and say, well, we need to start working Saturdays because we're not making as much money now. We have to have more senior techs here on the weekends to try to maximize the amount of profit. Why? Because I'm doing recalls? You just created a maintenance department, and then now I'm doing only warranty and recall work. Now you've screwed me all out of my filler money in between, and I'm having to work even harder just to make those hours. Or let's just say it's not even, you don't even have a maintenance department, but yet they're calling you in on the weekend and stuff now because they're not making enough money. They want you there so they can make even more money, but screw you out of your own time because of everything that's going on. You know, I foresee a lot of that happening in the future, and it's already starting to pick up now because they're losing money because not as many people are buying cars, and with there's not as many people buying cars and us not able to get parts and stuff like that so we can actually book jobs out and close jobs out, what ends up happening is they lose money. So they try to find other ways to make money, and that's by having you there more with the potential for you to actually make less and take time away from your family time, and then you're stuck working 6 days a week, doing more work than you were before, but making less money. There's a lot of stuff going on right now behind closed doors, a lot of backdoor grab ass stuff going on right now, and I think people need to talk about it more, and not enough people are talking about it. It's going to get kind of crazy in the next 4 to 5 years too, with all the technology changing and stuff. And you know, people before were talking about everything's going to go electric, everything's going to go electric. Well, a lot of it is going electric. The potential for things to be electric in the next 10 years is crazy. And a lot of us, what are your thoughts on that? Most of us are going to become parts changers at that point. You're going to hook a computer up, it's going to tell you exactly what's wrong, you're going to change a part. You know, I'm not quite 100% saying that's exactly the way it's going to be, but it's going that way. So more and more I'm hearing in the field, because of less and less money being made and less cars being built, some of the dealerships are trying to cut in some areas to put in others, and then it's screwing the technicians out of their pay and the ability to make money because of how they're moving things around. Not necessarily my dealership, they haven't done anything like that yet, but I do know of 2 dealerships locally that have already done stuff like that, and it's really pissing technicians off. Technicians are actually leaving the dealership because they're doing stuff like that. Let me know what you guys think. As always, these are just talking points. This is just things that are on my mind that I like to get out on the weekends, and it's for us to have a conversation on. Y'all be blessed.